This podcast is not a substitute for a relationship with your mental health professional. Hey, family. Welcome back to another episode of the Mental Health is a Lifestyle podcast with your girl, Andrea Wise-Brown. And if you happen to be scrolling by and you've stumbled upon us, please join the family. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. All you have to do is click the subscribe button, like the podcast, share the podcast, and if you feeling froggy, jump and put a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, ask me a question. Give me a suggestion of something that maybe you want us to talk about. I'm so excited that you're here with us. And family, I am excited once again to be with you another week for another episode. So this week, family, we jumping right in. I am going to ask you, do you feel trapped? Do you feel like you are trapped in a situation and you feel like you can't get out of it? Like an example, do you feel like you're trapped in a job or profession and you just can't get out of this profession? You've been doing this job for so long and you actually don't like it. You feel unfulfilled in this job, but you feel like, and y'all hear I keep using the words feel, but you feel like there is no other option. Do you feel trapped? Family, do you feel like you're trapped in a relationship that's not serving you? So whether if it's a relationship with friendships, where friends or the people who you want to be your friends or who have told you are your friends are just taking, but they aren't giving you anything, yet and still you're afraid to actually end the friendship. You feel trapped in there for whatever the reason is. Or are you trapped in a romantic relationship? Do you feel trapped where the relationship is not serving you? You continuously are being betrayed over and over again, lied to, or there's some, you feel like you're really not engaged or disconnected anymore, but yet and still you feel like you have to stay. Do you feel trapped in your relationships? That's what I want to know, family. Do you feel like you're trapped or stuck in a rut where you feel like you don't have any motivation to do anything other than what you're doing, but yet and still what you're doing is boring the heck out of you? Like every day, it's just like the mundane schedule over and over again, and yet and still you feel trapped in it. So you continue to do it while you have low motivation. Last one, family. Do you feel trapped by perfectionism? Like there's this idea that you need to be perfect at every single thing. So you're very indecisive when you want to make decisions, or when it's time to make decisions, you are indecisive because you fear that if you make the wrong decision, I don't know, the world is going to end. But I'm not judging the why. I'm just asking you, family, do you feel trapped? And I want you to hear the word feel, because when people come to my practice and we talk and we start to work through things, a lot of times they're stuck in a space where they don't want to be because they feel like they're trapped. But I always teach them, my loves, you are not trapped. Especially because I'm seeing you move around in the world. Sometimes we have sessions in the closet, but sometimes we have sessions when you're in your car. Sometimes we have sessions at the park. Sometimes we have sessions at the job. So I know that you aren't physically trapped in the house or in the basement somewhere, but I'm talking about entrapment in the mind. Are you stuck because you feel like you are trapped? Well, family, if you are, guess what? Your girl is here and we getting ready to do this. I'm getting ready to show you how to get out of that situation, whichever the situation is, okay, where you feel like you are trapped. The first thing is we're going to do a reality check. I want you to do a reality check. And if you were to come to me, I'm going to help you do the reality check because I'm going to ask you. So let's just say if we're talking and you say to me, well, yeah, Andrea, I really feel like I am trapped at this job because I get paid every week and it's taking care of my bills, but I hate it. And every time I drive up to the building and I go to park, I literally feel like I'm nauseous, and sometimes I have often threw up like this, y'all. This is real stuff that people have told me. And so, but I mean, I can't do nothing about it. And so since I feel like I can't do anything about it, I feel trapped. This is why I'm anxious all the time when I walk in the building, or I really am feeling depressed. I have low mood. I've lost of appetite. I'm feeling like I'm helpless because I can't get out of the situation. You understand? And it feels like it's just a hopeless situation, okay? Which are the symptoms of depression. So I'm feeling all these things, but I have to keep working there. I have to keep my job. We're going to do a reality check. So when I ask you the thing back, so I'll ask them exactly this back. So you have to keep this job that is making you physically ill because you have to pay your bills. So I say, this is what I want you to do. I want you to give me an honest answer. When a fact is a fact, it is 100% true. Is that statement a fact? Is that 100% true? And it's like, well, I need to. I'm not saying 70%. I'm not saying 60%. I'm not saying 80% true. No, 100% true means it's a fact. So that's what we're working with. Is this a fact that if you don't work at that job, then you can't pay your bills? No, Andre. Right. Not that job. You need a job, but not necessarily that job. Okay. So we're going to do some fact checking because right there in that space, when we create that opening to a different thought process, then all of a sudden we start to relieve your anxiety because that is not true. That is a story that you're telling yourself. So family, just follow me on that. Follow me on this path of me letting you know how to let the cage open. I liken this to actually being in a cage. So just imagine, family, when you feel like you're trapped in something, is as if you are literally in a cage. Y'all know like little dog cages that you put the dogs in. And there's of course there's a latch on the front of the cage. And so what has happened is when you start to believe stories that are not facts, stories that you are telling yourself that make you feel like you are trapped, you are believing that you are in this cage and that there has a lock on the latch. I am here to let you know there ain't no lock on the latch. You in the cage, I understand that because of your circumstance and because of your situation, you are in the cage. But my loves, that does not mean that the cage is locked. What Andrea is telling you to do is I'm going to teach you how to take your hand and squeeze it through one of those little bars or your fingers through the little holes and flip that switch and open up the door. The door is open. Open up the door and you can literally come on out the cage. The possibilities outside of the cage are endless. But guess what? You are keeping yourself trapped by the stories that you're telling yourself. So, first step, a reality check. Is this 100% true that I'm stuck, that I'm trapped in this relationship where I just keep getting cheated on over and over again, or I keep getting physically abused over and over again, or I keep getting lied to over and over again, and I can't go anywhere because this is just the only relationship that I've been in, and he told me that he's the only one that's going to love me, or she told me that she's the only one that's going to love me, and so is that true? Let's do some reality checking. Because if you and I sat down and we did some reality checking and I ask you that question again, so the relationship is not serving you, you're being lied to, you're being cheated on, you're being betrayed over and over again. And you mean to tell me that this is 100% true that there is no other man or woman in this world who's going to treat you better than that? It's like, no, that's not true. So come on, let's fact check. Let's do some reality checking, because when we know that the stories that we are telling ourselves are not true, we popping those thoughts just like they bubbles. They going away. And what happens is our hands get closer and closer to coming on out that cage, to flipping that switch. The second thing that I want you to do, once you realize you do the reality check and you like, okay, that's not true. However, I'm feeling a little scared. So now I realize it's a story I've been telling myself, but I feel a little scared. I don't know what to do next. This is where number 2 is. We're going to create a power shift. I'm getting ready to turn the lights on. You are getting ready to turn the lights on. A power shift, shifting the mind. You know what is not true that we just discussed. That's not true. So now this is what I want you to do. You're going to get a piece of paper. And all of the negative stories that you've been telling yourself, you're going to write them down on a piece of paper. Now, the second step, the power shift, come on, cutting the lights on to see where our power is. What we're going to do is take that same statement that we have just discovered is a falsity, it's a lie, and we're going to reframe it and tell the truth. So the truth is, let's just say for the relationship one was, there is nobody else in the world, he told me, that would want me, and he cheating and everybody cheating. I'm here to tell you. Okay, so what's the truth? So a true statement is, there are millions of people, like over 300 million people in the United States alone. You ain't gonna tell me that this is the only man or the only woman in the world for you. And that all out of all the other millions that everybody's gonna lie and cheat, that is a lie. And I've talked to enough men and women to know that not every woman cheats and not every man cheats. So I'm here to tell you that that is a lie. So stop telling yourself that. So that's the sentence that you're going to put on the opposite side of that, is that no, there are over 3 million people in the United States, and not all of them will betray me. Okay, boom. Right there. That's starting to cut the light on, because now you're starting to get more energy. You understand, the light is on. So now your hand is getting closer and closer to that latch in that cage, that invisible cage that you have yourself in. Okay, then number 3. So this is after number 2. You found your power because you are combating all of those stories that you're telling yourself that are not true. So you combat those, and now the reality is setting in, and now you get to see all of the possibilities out in the world. The reality is there are so many other possibilities than what you were believing that had you trapped in the first place, that had you stuck. Even the example of jobs. This is the only job that's going to pay my bills. Not true. Do you know that there are so many other companies out there that you could work at, that you would enjoy working at, where you could still pay your bills and you could still take care of yourself? That is the truth. And that is the reality, the truth. That's where you're going to get your power back. That's the sentence that you're going to put, where you're going to combat that other sentence that you were telling yourself, the story that you was telling yourself, like that is the only job. You got me? Or that you need to live life stuck in the rut. Going from A to B to C to D. Going from A to B to C, and that's it, and that's life. So now you feeling stuck in a rut. Or everything that you do, when you act out, when you choose, it needs to be perfect. And if it's not perfect, you're going to fail. And if you fail, then what? Because to be successful, you have to fail. You have to fail so many different times. Like that is a part of the makeup of a successful person. So I'm just saying, just going back to all of the reasons why you feel trapped, I am here to tell you, no, my loves, you have the power to pull yourself out of the entrapment, out of the situation. Because I'm here to tell you, you ain't trapped. You're not trapped. That is just a part of your mindset, and that is the story that you have been telling yourself. But we are breaking through. We busting that story up today. Okay, so like I told you, you're going to do that reality check. Then you're going Do the power shift. So when you really hit with the reality or the possibilities of what's actually going on, then number three, you're going to take action. Hey, family, come on over here because I have something for you. Starting off with a go-to guide for keeping your minds healthy and strong. This right here is the Bible to mental health. It's your mental health Bible. The name of it is 6 Pillars to Power Up Your Mind and Make Mental Health a Lifestyle. Where you get it from? Well, you get it from awisebrown.com/shop. But in this go-to guide, honey, in this mental health Bible, you know what you're going to find out? You're going to find out the benefits of aromatherapy, and how it can shift your mood. But guess what? You don't have to go anyplace else to look for your aromatherapy because your girls got you, okay? You can get some aromatherapy here. This is aromatherapy is in this candle. This is called a slice of happiness. It makes me tingle, like literally makes me tingle. This is a cruelty-free candle with no parabens, no formaldehyde, and no known suspected carcinogenics. Made with essential oils. It's a soy candle. Amazing. You can burn it or you can just walk by and smell it. Lord have mercy, it's so good. And I'm a part of you. You're a part of me. We are a family. We got hoodies now, and these are unisex hoodies, and they wear well, they wash well, and they feel so good. So you can wear them over your clothes, you know what I'm saying, and look dope, or you can wear them as your clothes with nothing under them, which I like to do often. And when you travel everywhere, I mean, every time I wear them, I'm moving around, people are always asking me whether I'm traveling, going to the supermarket, what's that? Who's that? And I'm like, mental health is a lifestyle. Because see, this is on the back. Okay, they come in white and they come in black. I'm like, join the family. Mental Health is a Lifestyle podcast. So there you go. Family, don't you ever say that I ain't give you nothing. You get all of these things from awisebrown.com/shop. All right. I got your goods. I got you. You don't have to go anyplace else. I'll see you on the other side. So once I realized that this job, I don't have to stay at this job all the time to take care of myself, that there are other possibilities. So now it's time to take action. Let's put a plan together. We need to put a plan together to figure out how am I going to get out of here. So a plan could be, okay, so this is what you're going to do. In 1 week until you see me again, you are going to look on Indeed and all of the other LinkedIn, all of the other career services websites, and you're going to start applying for jobs. Even if you apply for one job each day during the week until I see you again. So that means that you would have applied for 7 jobs until I see you again. And as you start to put your energy out into the universe of what it is that you want, you have to believe it though. Trust me, it will meet you. It's going to come and find you. I've done it so many times in my life. You understand? Like physics states, like wherever you put your energy is what grows. So if you continue to put your energy in the thought process of, I am trapped, this is it, there is nothing more, then you're going to be trapped. But it's only because you're keeping yourself trapped. But the opposite is true. So during this take action step, you are going to put a plan together. How is it that I am going to get up out of this job so that I can pay for myself? And as you start to do the work, you understand, do the work in this plan, applying for the jobs, that is you taking the latch off of this gate to the box that you've been into, the cage, and opening up the door and stepping outside. You are stepping outside of the cage. My loves, you are the one with the keys. Nobody else is coming to open up the cage because guess what? The cage is not locked. You don't even need a key. All you have to do is flip the switch. So it's going to take some work, but it's not work that you can't handle. So you're going to go and you're going to flip the switch. It might feel a little uncomfortable because you're going to have to stick your hand through and move it around. So it might, hurt a little bit. It's going to take some muscle, yet and still, I am telling you that if you want to get up out of it, you are the person that's going to get you up out of it, because there is nobody else who's coming by to get you up out of the situation. No, it's you. You are trapped because you have chosen to believe that you're trapped. But right now, today, we changing all of that. So you flipping the switch and you coming out. Okay, so you're going to take action. Another example of taking action is if I'm a perfectionist and I know that every time I get ready to make a decision, I'm like, don't know what to do. I'm indecisive. I'm afraid to go. I get high anxiety. Then I freeze and I don't do anything. I procrastinate, like I talked about in the last episode. So what I'm going to tell you is the workaround for that is to start just making decisions for the hell of it. Just make decisions for the hell of it. And we already discussed, and we're going to take away all of the myths of all of the lies that you think is going to happen if you make the wrong decision. Because we all will make the wrong decisions. We will from time to time. But guess what? If you continue to live, if God continues to give you breath, you can make the right decision the next time. Let me tell you something. There is no learning like making a mistake. That is the best way to learn in life. Trust me, as an entrepreneur, I know the best way to learn is to get in it, to make a decision and to own the decision and get in it. And if you fail doing whatever that thing is that you wanted to do when you took that chance, when you made that decision, that is where real learning occurs, because then you get it. And then after you get it, you will never make that decision again. At this point, then you're in it, and now you found a way to go in a different direction. You can literally help so many other people, and you will never find yourself there again if you get the lesson. Getting the lesson while you're living life is so much better than reading a lesson in the book. Don't y'all know that? You pick up a book and you learn, looking at the book, you learn, like, that ain't really learning. You can read about it. It doesn't permeate your body. But what permeates your body and your mind and your soul is when you make a decision and you live the decision. So if it's right, then, and if it's wrong, then, but that's okay. Then you just pick yourself up and you go again. But now you've learned. There's a shift in the brain. There is no learning like the in vivo learning, like the learning when you are actually in it. Okay. So we are going to take action, whatever that action is, whatever it is, to make sure that we get out of the mindset that we are trapped. Take the action, plan, and then do it to get up out of it. And then, now this is the deal. Now you've opened up the cage, and now you're standing on the outside of the cage, because remember, you was trapped in that situation in your head for a long time. So now, because that's how you were living, it was comfortable for you. Okay. It was really comfortable. So now you dealing with reality because you outside the cage. But then you know what comes up, and I'll tell you this because people have told me this, and it's happened in my life. Fear comes up. Fear comes up because it's going to be that anxiety that's whispering in your ear. All of those stories that kept you trapped in the beginning. Oh, that's about to come up. So as soon as you get out the cage and you're like, oh, shoot, Andrea was right. I really am free. And then once you get out there, fear. That little anxiety, that ugly little monster start whispering in your ear. All of the stories you was telling yourself that kept you in the cage. Then here's some more work. This is when you say, absolutely not. Those things aren't true. I'm living something different. You realize those are lies, and then you keep going. And even though you're fearful, you understand that this is what change feels like. Change feels different than being in a cage. Change feels different. And so I want you to embrace the change. So it may feel uncomfortable, family, because this is something that you haven't experienced. You understand? You had yourself trapped for so long. You got this. This is just called change. That's all. The name of this is change. This is different than what I've been feeling for however long, you had yourself trapped in a situation. This is different. It doesn't feel weird. Yeah, well, that's what weird means. That is different. It doesn't feel normal. Well, it's because you've been in a situation that you've kept yourself in, and that has been the new normal. So the reality is, when you go back to remembering all of the things that had you so sad and unfulfilled, and hurt, and the things that weren't serving you when you were trapped in this little cage in your mind. When you go back to those things, you ask yourself, is that what I want? And I'm hoping you say, no, self, that's not what I want. So I'm saying, run, family, run. Don't you go back. Embrace change, because change is different. Not bad, just different. Okay? And then, family, as you are embracing change, you're embracing change. So now that you are actually outside of the cage, okay, let's go back to the person who felt trapped in this job. So now you are going on interviews. And as you're interviewing and you're meeting with new people, and it feels weird, but it feels lighter. You feel like they're engaging. You start to feel possibility. You got what I'm saying? It starts to feel really good. Now you're embracing the change, because now, trust me, messing with me, you done found a new job. I've helped so many people through transition in their lives. You done found a new job, and now that you at this new place, like it's feeling good, it's different. Oh, I'm kind of happy here. I'm loving. I can't believe I was there for 10 years or 15 years or 20. I can't believe it, right? Now you out here. And then when you start to hit kind of like those little bumps in the road, going through these challenges, these are new challenges because you're learning something new. You've stretched yourself in a different way. You are going to do the biggest thing of them all. You know what I'm going to say, family? You're going to trust God. You are going to trust God through all of it. You hear me? Because God says that abundance and prosperity is yours. Yes, that's what he promises. If you're righteous, if you out here doing what's right, he says abundance and prosperity is yours. So if you could imagine that it's somebody else's, why is it not? It's your birth. It's yours. So as you are moving through this newness and you are embracing change, you are going to trust God. Trust God and his promise on your life. And you are being righteous, okay, while you're doing it, because God has your back. It is your birthright to find joy. It is your birthright to be happy. It is your birthright to be free, to experience love. Being betrayed was beneath you. Being lied to was beneath you. Come on now, whoever that was didn't see the God in you. Because if you see the God, if they saw the God in you, that wouldn't have happened. But there are so many others out in this world who would love to embrace all of what God has created in you, who would never betray you, who would never lie to you. Okay, at these jobs, they would pay you more. They see your worth because the reality is no one could ever pay you for what you're worth, but they can pay you, for what you charge. Okay. All right, family. So God has you. So trust him. Trust God. All right. All right, family. So I'm just going to run down these steps again. If you are feeling trapped, you can let yourself out of the entrapment, especially if it's in your mind. Number one, you're going to do a reality check. Am I really trapped? Do I know that to be 100% true, or is it my mindset that has me feeling like that? We're going to do a reality check. Number 2, we are going to create a power shift. So all of the negative thoughts that we identified that kept us here in this state of entrapment, we're going to combat each and every one of them, because those are lies, with the truth. And that is going to shift our power on, because it's going to show us all of the unlimited possibilities, honey. Then we got number 3. We are going to take action. We're going to put a plan together, and we're going to move on the plan to come up out of the entrapment, because nobody else can pull you out of it, honey, but you. Nobody's coming by to get you, my love. You have to do it, and God's given you everything to do it. Okay, so yes, you're gonna take action, and then it might feel a little weird, so you're gonna embrace the change. But more than all of the steps that I've given you, this one is worth so much more. You are going to trust God through the process. All right, family, you got it. And that is another episode of the Mental Health is a Lifestyle podcast with your girl, Andrea Wise-Brown. Family, I am going to see you next week. I love you. I love you. I love you.